Hi, my name's Jeff Hewitt, General Manager here at Brian Cullen Motors, and today we are talking about the 2026 Colorado Trail Boss. So whether you're in the market for a car, a truck, an SUV, an EV, or a Corvette, right, make sure to click the link at the top of the description there. That'll start a conversation with an expert to help you out. So for 2026, Colorado comes in, well, what's essentially 6 trim levels. So there's a 2WT, obviously the 2-wheel drive, 4WT. So those are your work trucks. You could get an LT version. This version here, which is the Trail Boss, then of course you can move up to Z71 and then ZR2. So we have a whole bunch of trim levels, but almost half of what gets sold in Ontario is a Trail Boss. And I think there's a bunch of reasons for it. It's in the middle of the segment, sort of in that sweet spot price point wise. There's a lot of different ways that you can build this truck, but more than anything, it's probably just because it looks cool. And that's what this truck is. This is a cool Trail Boss. We're going to talk about some of the ways that this gets configured and some of the great things about this truck. So also interesting for 2026 is it doesn't matter what Trail Boss, or for that matter, what Colorado you decide to purchase, you're going to get the same engine. In years past, we've seen where in General Motors and quite frankly other manufacturers, you have different power plants, different choices, depending on what it is that you're buying. But General Motors decided to simplify that and just give you all the power every time. So this has the 2.7 liter TurboMax engine making 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. And so in a mid-size pickup truck, you don't need another engine. And oh, by the way, it's really efficient. So you put all that together, you can see why General Motors decided to go with just one engine for this incredible truck. What a great choice. Let's come down the side here, we'll look at some of the options. This exterior color is actually called White Sands. I've heard people call it Desert Sand. Some people have, well, called it beige, but it's actually a really cool truck color. I love it with the black offsets. And you notice that being a Trail Boss, of course, it gets these really beefy black wheels. And the other neat thing about being a Trail Boss is, of course, it comes with a standard 2-inch lift right from the factory so it can fit these big tires underneath of it. And it also has a slightly wider track than, say, an LT or a WT model. So this is a real off-road vehicle. So that means it gets things like hill descent control, it gets a multi-speed transfer case. And so you can actually go off-roading with this truck. It is a real truck, it is a real off-road beast. No, it's not a ZR2, but then again, it doesn't have to be a ZR2 just to go off-road. We've also equipped this truck, and this is the neat thing about Trail Boss, is it is half of our market. And so you can have it really entry level with cloth seats and so on. This, we've got the convenience package into it. We've got the safety package. So we've got all of those packaged into it to make it a more up-level Trail Boss, which we find for most customers is the sweet spot. I do like putting the off-road side steps on it. You know what, with that 2-inch lift, it makes it just a little more comfortable to get in and out of, and finishes off, obviously, the look with the black against the beige in this case. Let's come around the back and see what the truck is like in the back. So of course, back here, it's all pickup truck, isn't it? We've got a box, we've got a step bumper, right? We got a 2-inch hitch. And so just like its full-size brethren, right? It does have, of course, 7-pin wire connectors. And this being a mid-size truck with a 2.7 liter TurboMax engine can tow 7,700 pounds and handle a 770 pound tongue weight. That's pretty significant. That's going to take into case most travel trailers that you're going to see in this sort of segment. Of course, you can a nice bow rider if you're a boat tower, a couple of sea-doos, whatever it is you need to do with a pickup truck. This truck can do it being a mid-size pickup truck. Of course, General Motors is great about this. Of course, it's got a soft open tailgate, and this is something that I think that they do very, very well, because not only is it soft open, it's also very, very light. So it's not like you have to heave-ho the truck open. And back here, it's a working toolbox. So you've got tie downs here, front, back. Of course, this has been equipped with a spray liner. If you're actually doing some work with the truck, you've got a built-in measuring tape here. And of course, you've got this little storage compartment here. And this is actually one of my favorites, where you get to actually keep stuff in a compartment inside your tailgate. This is a really, really good place to store tie downs, things that you're going to use to secure your load. It doesn't have to be rattling around, well, like I usually have them on the floor or the back of my truck. Great little option. So when we get in the front, of course, you have this great greeting software where it tells you, hey, this is a Chevrolet. We know it's a Chevrolet because this is a terrific truck. And we have optioned this with some additional packages. So you get some of the creature comforts, well, that a lot of people these days kind of take for granted and just basically expect in a pickup truck. It does get a heated steering wheel. I think that is something that you have to have in a pickup truck. So, you know, you've got accident avoidance. You've got all these things going on as you should have. It has the surround view mirror. So when you're parking your vehicle, you get that sort of bird's eye view of what your parking lot looks like, and you can see that you're centered in the spot. So although this is a mid-trim level, you can get a lot of up-level type features in this truck. And so you may want it basic, you may want it fully loaded, but I think you can see why the Trail Boss trim is responsible for about half of what we're doing here on this type of mid-size pickup truck. What a great way to build a truck. So here I am, I'm in the back, I'm about 6 feet tall, and I do have the driver's seat adjusted to where I would have it as I was driving the vehicle. And you can see that I've actually got plenty of room back here. There is room for three, there's 3 sets of belts. There is a center belt here. So being a mid-size pickup truck, this is really close to full-size room. So not a bad family vehicle at all. Certainly you can put your friends in here. This is really quite a reasonable size on a mid-size truck. Lots of space, and you know what? It has this EvoTech interior, so that means it's a synthetic. That means it cleans up easy and it's long-lasting, wears really, really well. You absolutely have to love how Chevy Trucks does some things. This is one little feature that I really like. If you order option code RIK, you get black badges, right? It's the simple little things that make the truck look great. The black badges with the black boards, black mirror caps, ties the whole truck together. What a great looking truck. And it's a real truck. It can tow, it can do the work, it can go off-road, everything you need. Come and take one of these things for a drive down here at Brian Cullen Motors, 386 Ontario Street in St. Catharines. Say you saw us on YouTube, and don't forget, like and subscribe. And check out the video we have on its ZR2 cousin, right? There's a great off-road machine. Talk to you soon.